if I was to have a conversation with someone, they would tell me, if it had not been for what I heard you wrote, I would have thought I was by myself. That is the main reason why I'm trying to be so consistent, or I'm trying to build something, because I feel like my story isn't to be contained, but it is to be exposed, for the mere fact that there are people waiting for me to follow in my purpose.
Yeah, doogie, Check it, yo, this how we wreck it. Here's the resume for the day. The situation is, you know what I'm saying? Duke Love in the house, Yusef in the house, my man Stud Doogie. Wanna say what's up to Spike in the... Yo, what's up with Honey Love, yo?
So, yo, man, tell me the headlines on that little whip-wop, yo.
Hey, yo, dig it, yo. What's the 411, hun?
What's the 411, hun?
I got it going on,
hey, yo,
hun.
I got it going on, hun.
What's the 411, hun?
7 years and hundreds of hashtags later, I'm still trying to understand how a hoodie and some snacks turned out to be a threat, or how the strength of a black woman's voice turned out to be the beginning of her death. Sandra Bland, yeah, say her name, because the story of ghosts is still not done telling truths. You ever wonder why they despise you so much? Why the color of your skin triggers their hate? I wonder if they realize that we are their ancestors, that Adam and Eve had skin the color of mud, that the Bible they so-called follow were written through black poets, that Jesus had skin and hair that they would deem as your modern-day poster child for thugs. Why else would they be so afraid, with too golden, with too brave, too rebellious, too many minds that don't conform, so with too crazy, too bad and bougie, too wavy, too militant, too melanin, too much black, too black, with too much of ourselves, and no, you can't copy, nor can you take it away.
To me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, black people. I mean, and I mean that in every sense, outside and inside. And to me, we have a culture that is surpassed by no other civilization, but we don't know anything about it.
As a Christian woman, you get looked at a certain way, and then, people expect you to be a certain way. They expect you, to dress a certain way. They expect you to vibe a certain way, but I just want to tell a different story. Like, I want to tell a different story with that, because even though I believe in God, I still can bring these waves, you feel me? But that's how I feel about it. I want to represent a whole different culture within the Christian movement, but not just the Christian movement, because I don't really have to talk about God sometimes, all the time. Sometimes I want to talk about love. Sometimes I hope this word is not offensive, but sometimes I want to talk about these niggas, and I want to talk about everything. I want to be myself within my writing. That's how I feel writing should be. That's how I feel. If you gonna do this, just be yourself. If you gonna, even if you gonna believe in God, be yourself while you believe it. That's how I feel about anything at the end of the day. So.
Again, you ask, who am I? A little reincarnated. Lauryn Hill mixed with Pac, real, woman, black, hood, ghetto, and most of all, me.
They say strangers can hold your secrets better than your close ones. So sometimes you'll find me talking to myself. I never talk about pressure because I find myself running from it. But it's always there no matter where I try to escape. I feel pressure to fall in love. Pressure to get married before I'm 30. I feel the pressure of the call that's on my life. I feel pressure to pray more than I have the words to say. I feel pressure to sin on Sunday mornings. I feel pressure to roll my eternal conflicts inside of Garcia Vega, just to inhale and exhale the remains, just to forget who I am in this world, knowing every time I wake up I'm still gonna be reminded. Rebellion finds a way to settle in my heart when my religion starts to fade in the waiting room. It's not that I don't believe, but my unbelief is gaining more ground over my hope. And hope doesn't disappoint, so maybe I'm the one that's disappointing hope. My actions can't tell the difference between right and wrong, even though I know better. My private life tell a different story, even though I show better. I love through flaws, but my heart runs on empty. My frustrations get the best of me. My brokenness goes unattended, but I'm still here. I'm still praying to a God that I know is real. I'm still believing even when unbelief shadows my faith. I'm still witnessing God extend this grace. I'm still balancing my hope on evidence not seen. They say the greatest pressures produce the best diamonds. So I'm just expected to shine one day. And I don't necessarily try to be the best writer. I really just try to be felt above all things. I just want you to hear me. I just want you to pay attention to the story, pay attention to the emotions, pay attention to the feelings that I'm trying to convey. That's why I feel like it's one of the most complex, most unorthodox, I try to do everything in its rawest form because I feel like that's what people relate to. They relate to raw honesty, and I try to be honest at all times because if I'm not honest, then I feel like I'm failing someone because I'm not telling their truth either, or I'm not making them feel like they not alone. So if I don't tell my truth, then I'm failing someone. Why I try to do things, that's, I guess, where God comes into play. Some things we can do on our own, but some things we're going to need His Spirit for. Some things we're going to need His presence. Some things we're going to need His power. That's why when I say all the time, I'm an introvert with extrovert dreams. I don't like to talk, but I'm a writer who like to perform. Unfortunately, that's weird for a person that don't like to talk, but has passions about being a performer. When in reality, if you're a performer, then you have no choice other than to talk. So that's where God's grace comes in. That's where His mercy comes in, and that's where His power comes in. The Bible says, not by spirit, not by might, but by His power. And that's the only way I'll ever accomplish anything I want to do with my gift, is that I follow in His power. So that is the definition of my art. Sometimes we treat silence like an outsider, like a bad seed or a hindrance. You wonder if anyone understands how silence can feel like a home full of misunderstandings. Sometimes it feels like an oxymoron that you can't explain. But if I had to tell you what silence is like, or how it feels, or what it does, I'd tell you. Silence feels like passive aggression when your voice doesn't get its way. Silence is kind, but can come off cruel to those who don't understand its presence. You think silence would be a ghostly expression, felt but not seen.